Okay, good morning everybody. I hope you have a lovely Monday morning, all of you. If you're just waking up, then enjoy your lovely soft bed. But maybe if you're like a early bird, then enjoy your morning exercise, or maybe your coffee or tea. I hope you guys are well and you had a lovely weekend. It was a lovely weather actually. Sunday, nice and sunny. A bit chilly, but like finally should be this weather that like is getting colder and colder. Now I could see some nice leaves as well. But yeah, hopefully you have a lovely Monday morning. I did actually already my exercise. As usual, I'm cycling here to the studio. It take like around 40 minutes, but it was fine. It lovely. It was nice. The weather. I wouldn't say fresh air because of the cars and stuff, but still, I think it's better than make myself angry in the early morning because I'm sitting in the traffic jam. But this everybody need the take the consequences about that. But definitely, so basically, actually, I forget to say that this is the Mindatory show. If you don't know, guys, with me, Shandor. And today I was told that I'm gonna bring topics which is hopefully gonna make your Monday and the rest of your week, because actually I'm gonna talk about some nice inventions, sustainable inventions, which actually people working hard to save our planet. And actually I want to introduce this for you guys to be a bit clearer that it's not everything bad as the news, the TV news or magazines and newspapers say that. And therefore also I brought for you some nice lovely good news about conservation, ecology and also zoology. So definitely I think worth to keep, because that give you a ease for you hopefully that it's not everything bad as now right now the government pushing on us, let's say, or the TV, because actually there are some good news, just we should know about it, because then we can make the right action about that, because then we know what we should support. As I talk about one of my last episode, that like there are like greenwashing as well, isn't it? So definitely you need to be careful that like right now these companies maybe not even that sustainable and green as they say, but what I'm gonna talk about that's 100% sustainable, renewable, even save energy, also reduce carbon dioxide. Yeah, but you're gonna hear later on as I'm moving forward to the show. But yeah, and one of the invention also was, and it's still I think it's pretty good if we talk about transportation, is the bicycle, because bicycle still in the 21st century is still not releasing no greenhouse gases, and it's actually healthy, it's make your muscle move, also the walking as well. So I encourage you people to, especially here Londoners, to just if you have bike, then sit on it and do a little cycling or just walk it, because definitely I'm super sure you're not going too far from your home with your car, and at least you're gonna release the tensions inside you and inside others, because actually everybody gonna get there on time everywhere, because right now as we know there is like a really bad traffic jam all around big cities that really hopefully they gonna change. But yeah, so let's move on and let's tell you. So yeah, so I'm gonna tell you the first impressive invention that actually helping the environment. And basically this is, so first of all, many countries has poor water quality, isn't it, unfortunately. This is also because of chemical pollution, for example the textile industry, because basically the textile industry usually make textile dyes which is water and chemical intensive, But there is this company that actually came up with a new and green idea. It's actually a biological driven process guided by nature. It develops dye using fewer chemicals, energy, and 10 times less water. So, but let's talk a little bit how it works. I'm gonna introduce it, and then you can do a bit more research if you're interested about it. But I think it's pretty good idea because, but still I can see some mistakes. But let's say that like definitely this is gonna help not to pollute anymore our fresh water, which is actually really important because we are built up in 70% of water as well, and most of the living beings as well live in the water. So, and fresh water is really important because after 3 days, like probably we're gonna struggle to survive if we're not gonna find proper water. So basically, how they make this dye to color the textures. So first of all, they identifying the colors in nature. So they checking all around the nature that like what animal, plant or microbe creating this type of color, and when they found it, then basically they got that animal, plant and microbe, and using their DNA sequence to identify where the color coded in the genetics of the organism. And when they found that actually they translate the DNA code into an own engineered microorganism, and basically this enabling them to produce that pigment that actually the real animal, plant or microbe producing, and actually it's natural because it's coming from a DNA sequence. And when this pigment being produced by the microorganism, then basically this transfer to fabric, and when this fabric is heated, the microorganism membrane bursts, which is releasing actually the color, and after that it's chemically bind to the fiber. So I think it's pretty good idea because basically they creating what I said. It's not always artificial things is good, but like in this way, if we're checking that, actually it's pretty good because they're using the artificial ID in a good way, in a sustainable way, and this is how we should continue. If also any of you got any times like this type of natural way of idea, definitely, especially if you get your tools, definitely give it a try. Worth it to do some trial on that maybe gonna works, and maybe you're gonna be the next person who actually gonna bring a big invention to our society. And yeah, hopefully this is gonna give a little idea. So but let's continue. So after one binds to the fiber, then basically they wash off the bacteria cell on the fiber, and basically that is it, the color, and the textile being colored with no chemical or too much water use. And to compare, when they are dye with the normal way to this company who have they color their textiles, this actually at least 49% less water they're using. Also 35% less electricity they are using, and they actually save 31% carbon dioxide emission, which is I think a pretty good thing. And let's not forget, as I said, it's 100% natural and biologically produced, which is resulting cleaner inputs and outputs. And actually this company already like made some nice partnership with big global brands, which I'm not gonna tell you because right now we are not here to advertising anybody. But as I say, you can check research about this company, which is actually use natural colors to dye their textiles. And yeah, so basically environment friendly, cost competitive, and does not require manufacturers to invest in special equipments. and this actually can be used in a large scale. So I found really fascinating that like definitely they know, because one of the big thing is actually the textile factories, because people like fashion and they always following that like what is the new clothes to wear, and this usually is like a new phones. It's coming out new styles every year, if not every 3 months, and as we know, these clothes as well contain a lot of plastic, which as the people throw away, usually into the bin. What I think is like, I could suggest guys, because that's what I'm doing, that like when I'm not using another one of my clothes, then actually I gonna give to a charity, so basically then another people can use my clothes who definitely need, especially as it's coming the colder weather. So also with clothes as well should be guys a bit mindful that like how you using it and what you do after when you are done using it anymore. And yeah, as I said, I really like this idea, because basically it's pretty, let's say, big companies, the textile and clothes companies, and definitely there is a need, a demand on for people that like they want always buy new clothes, let's say every month, and this actually definitely would be a good step, first step, that like at least the color already not uh, using too much water and not using chemicals and 100% natural. So very well done for that company. Definitely were to give some research about them. I think they gonna grow like even a bigger company, and hopefully there's gonna be more companies who gonna do in this way. Maybe they gonna find out that like how they can replace the cotton and also the plastic in in our clothes, so everything is like, let's say when we are not using, that's gonna be degradable. Basically maybe you can use into your soil. There is so many stuff what we can learn from the nature. Just we need to observe, we need to walk with open eye, not always being busy inside in our mind, and definitely then the good ideas will come. And and yeah, so this was the first invention what I was wanted to talk about it. Now I'm going a little break just to also wake you up with some lovely musics. And as usually, I brought for you two musics. The first is gonna be from Bob Marley and the Wailers, The Three Little Birds. And the second song is gonna be from Oxlade, The Kulosa. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely Monday morning. I'm gonna come back soon, and yeah, enjoy your music. Enjoy the music. Okay, and I'm back. Hopefully you like the music. I actually, to be honest, guys, I'm pretty buzzing, even if I just slept 1.5 hours, but still I'm feeling fine. I really enjoying my music, of course, like all the time. And so let's go back. So basically, first I talk about the impressive invention, that like how they uh, trying to dye different way the textiles. And now let's say jump to a good news in zoology. So basically, I want to tell you, when I read it, actually I was like really happy to read that, because as we know right now with these six extinctions actually going on right now in this moment as well, probably right now in every second there is one species extinct, unfortunately, which somehow supposed to stop it, because they're actually gonna turn upside down the whole balance of the ecosystem and the biodiversity. But when I read this news, actually it made me smile that luckily, even if we think animals are extinct, maybe they are not, or maybe somehow they survive or were hiding until then. But so basically this news is actually they named the fantastic tortoise returned after a century to the Galapagos Island, and basically this species lost for over 100 years, so they thought that like these tortoises extinct on the Galapagos Island, but actually a DNA testing of actually this tortoise called Fernanda revealed that the female tortoise was from the species which they thought been extinct, and is actually it's a significant implications for conservation efforts, because they thought that like they extinct over 100 years, and the only known specimen of this species was collected by explorer Rollo Beck during in the 1906 expedition, and it actually was really a good news that after these years they found this species alive, because tortoise, if you know as well, they have a really big conservation and ecological impact, but they are more like in the marine life, and it's good. And if you think about that, that basically these animals are already the same years old as were the dinosaurs, so actually they are living fossils, and definitely we need to take care about them, because they actually survived a lot of things. Their DNA, their ancestors see a lot of things what happened around in the earth, and they still managed to survive, so they actually fit to the environment very well, and the natural selection they the natural selection work on them really well, that like actually literally they didn't need it to change at all over these millions of years. And actually this tortoise has a unique characteristic. It's a giant tortoise and got the extraordinary shape, the male shells, which have extreme flaring along the outer edge and conspicuous sandal backing at the front. The sandal backing is unique to Galapagos tortoise, and the Fantasticus tortoise shows it more prominently than other species. So this research to find out the DNA testing, they made the research at Princeton, and it was matching the DNA sequence with those DNA sequence what was found in the 20th century, and they found actually 13 species of this tortoise in the Galapagos. So I was really happy to read this news, because that is not too late, as I say, to change. That is not too late to make something good, because the animal maybe we think they are extinct, but actually not. Maybe they are just hiding because they are know so long time ago that something will come and something is happening, something is not right in the air. And as I said, and I will say always, just walk around on your environment with open eye, because the nature gonna show you the first signs that what's gonna happen around us. And yeah, I'm happy for this tortoise. Hopefully they gonna have more and more year by year, because actually tortoises are really hard to survive as well, let's say, because they got have many enemies, many predators when they are young, until they don't grow up, such as sharks or albatross or any other birds or carnivore fish. And it's hard to make them to survive, but they are still making it. So very well done, tortoises, and just keep going. Hopefully scientists and with me as well. We're gonna discover species who being extinct, or maybe new species who actually fit into the new environment. I'm really desiring to do that because I like to being in the nature. I like to observe animals, and I like to see and learn from them that like how they living their daily life on this earth. Hopefully soon I will get my desired job as well, to do these things, to observe and discover animals and help them and save them. But until then, it's really good to read these type of news. So now again, let's jump back to another invention. And so every year, let me tell you guys that like around 80,000 trees are cut down to meet the global demand of 14 billion pencils. So basically, every year again, 80,000 trees being cut off just to make for all around the world 14 billion pencil. And as we know, these pencils is most of the time made by plastic or unsustainable materials which you can't recycle. It's not degradable. It's basically just gonna be waste, and it's gonna be just polluting our environment. But one founder invented a new way to create pencils. It's an alternative thing, and basically not just pencils, but also they creating notebooks as well. And basically this person designed a striking stationery, as I said, everything from pencil and notebooks to greeting cards and then envelopes that basically loaded with seeds. So just to think a bit, so basically these pencils, cards, everything is made a way that actually contain seeds. So when the these tools fulfill the first job, then actually you can put into your soil, into your pot, and then you can watch that something will grow out from it, such as herbs or vegetables. And when I read this invention, I was like, wow, that's pretty good idea as well, and that's why I thought that I'm gonna share with you guys. Because if you think that like every year there is 14 billion pencils being sold, and just think about that, like how much helps to the world, especially to the poorer area with like lack of food, that they can uh, plant these pencils, these greeting cards, and actually they can make themselves some herbs or vegetables, which is actually give them some nutrition and some energy. And very well done for this founder who did that. It's a really good thought. And basically when you can plant with them flowers as well, it's build it up in eco-friendly materials such as recycled paper and non-toxic water-based inks, and in the stationery products. And these stationery products designed to minimize waste and energy consumption, which is like actually more sustainable for the industry. They expand to Australia, because actually these founder live in Singapore, but they expanded to Australia and bring their sustainable stationery brand there as well. So it's a pretty good impact for the world. And this person being named on the one of the Australians top 50 small business leaders. So very well done. Congratulations for that person. As I say, did really great. I'm really happy that people thinking about the way that actually you not just can write your thoughts down, but as it's finished the ink, you can actually make yourself some food. So it helps for your wallet, it's help for your hunger, and also it's help for you to write your thoughts. So very well done, and just keep going. Hopefully this company go further, and soon here in London as well. All you guys anywhere where you listen me, gonna write with that type of pencils. And who knows, maybe you're gonna say like, oh my god, no, I bought again carrots, you wanna change with me because I want cabbage today. It's like basically gonna be some cards when you are changing it. Well, you never know, but yeah, I really want that like this go worldwide and everybody use these type of stationaries, because come on, you actually creating and planting plants, which you know it's pretty good to help to clean our air, making it fresh, creating for us some fresh oxygen, and they taking away some carbon dioxide until they are growing. So after this lovely first news and after the second invention what I brought for you, I was thinking that like let's continue this lovely Monday morning vibe and play for you another two music. And the first, what I was thinking that I'm gonna play from James Hype and Craig David, the No Drama, and the second music is gonna be Macklemore and Skylar Grey, Glorious. Until then, enjoy your Monday morning, your coffee, or if you are going to your workplace, just as I say, don't stress yourself, keep calm, just smile, you're gonna get to the place where would you like. Either way, just maybe a bit slower, but don't worry, just take care, relax, or whoa, still hitting the bed, then enjoy, lucky you. and and also if you want to follow me, you can find me on TikTok at Mindatory_official, or even I have a personal one on TikTok which you need to write at just Shandor, Sandor. But also you can find me on Instagram, which you need to write at J, and you write two times the underscore and Shandor, Sandor. And even if you can't listen through my whole radio show, don't worry about that, because I'm putting on YouTube, and you can find me on YouTube if you write it that let's be a better species, because I believe it's time that our species to evolve to the next level. And also guys, let's not forget to follow the radio station as well. You can find the radio on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and all around. You just need to write at Love the Beat Radio. Just be careful, guys, because there is not THE, it's D and A. So yeah, after this little advertisement, myself and my radio station, now enjoy the musics, and I'm gonna come back soon. Take care, guys. Okay, and I'm back. Hopefully you like the musics and you're getting the vibe, you're getting wake up, you feeling that like it's getting closer, we are getting closer to the afternoon. 40 minutes later, actually gonna be exactly 11 o'clock. I'm actually, guys, let me tell you, I'm vibing in the studio. I have a really good mood, as most of the times, and even if I don't have, I'm trying to be positive and trying to be in good mood, because we are making our mood that like how we want to live. So I want to make myself happy, so I'm gonna be happy. And if you want to be happy, then you just need to make yourself happy inside and feel good inside, because if you feel inside good, then nobody can take away from you, no one, just from yourself. You creating your own reality, don't forget, guys. Okay, so let's go back to our lovely. So this Mindatory show today is gonna be actually everything good news, positivity, amazing inventions that, like, just to highlight that is nothing to be lost, just they don't want us to know about these things, because they don't want us to invest in our money into these new companies, because they scared that they're gonna lose their power, who is actually right now on top of the, let's say, the chain. I don't like to use this one because nobody between, I mean, like, we are all of us human beings, we are in at the same species, so I don't think so any of us on top of each other or stronger or higher in the chain. This is actually just illusion what they want to put in our mind. But anyway, there are good things happening around us, and right now actually I'm spreading the word just to hear and make a mood for you, a good mood to research about them and to see the real things that actually there are so many of inventions which is actually already sustainable, which we would not use any more carbon dioxide or fossil fuels, and plus extra we wouldn't use our comfort, so we would still would live our everyday comfortable life just without polluting. That's the only thing. So that's what I was thinking, that definitely I'm gonna highlight some of these things, because there are so many that, like, I could talk about probably all day about these things. And let's go back to good news, what I read about, and this as well is about zoology. And basically, as we know, there are many animals are endangered, or because they are close to the extinction, they don't have too much species alive anymore, so they are really really the high possibility that they're gonna extinct. But all the ecologists, zoologists on that, and me too as well, even if, like, I'm not working right now in that field yet, but hopefully soon I will do. I also am on that, like, take care of these endangered animals, because actually all the endangered animals is like pretty important part of the ecosystem and the biodiversity balance. And this one of, like, really important animal in the biodiversity in the ecosystem is actually the tigers. So basically they are keen, so we can call keystone species, which means that, like, they are the species who keeping in control, keeping in balance the herbivores, because if would have been too much herbivores on the earth, then actually all the plants would be disappeared, because they are feeding a lot on plants. And as we know, the plants creating to us the clean fresh air and the oxygen as well. And if would have been too much herbivores, then basically there wouldn't have plants which actually could uh, suck the carbon dioxide and create oxygen. So the tigers actually pretty important in the Asia part to being alive, because they actually maintaining the herbivore population. And what I read about that, like, they thought that the tiger population is not too high in their numbers, but a new research found out, because they monitored long time the tiger population, and the new research found out, they discovered that actually uh, as much as 40% higher the population than previously thought. This is a significant development in the conservation of these endangered big cats, but these tigers still facing numerous challenges, including habitat loss, because as people's getting more and more, and also the soil is not gonna be, it's not, how it say, it's not what can help us to plant any vegetables in there, because we planting so intensive these crops, these cereals, vegetables, fruits, anything, just to still give the demand for the world. And therefore, like, this intensive farming is sucking out all the nutrition from the soil, which is actually make them the soil like dead. And also there is a lot of vegetable going to our farm animals, just the people can eat meat every day, which I don't think it's necessary. But right now this is what is going on, so therefore these lovely species losing their habitat. Also, because we're talking about tiger, people are afraid of them, of course, because tiger is a predator, humans are not. And if we check in a natural way, then we are pretty fragile towards to a tiger. Definitely no one would could survive, I think, if you would meet with a tiger with your bare hand, but there are some examples probably. But therefore it's a big human wildlife conflict, because people, humans, don't want to be the tigers be around their lands and killing their farm animal. And and because the habitat, the tigers losing their habitat, they actually going into the human place, because there is nowhere else to go. So actually this here as well, that like if we humans will be a bit more conscious, we there wouldn't be conflict at all with the wildlife. Just we so want to expand, we so want to take everything, all the land, all the soil, everything, that like we don't think about another species. And therefore, rather than like think about that, like why exactly, what's the reason that like these wildlife coming into the human area, to find out the real deal on that, we just like don't want to them to live on this earth, which is pretty sad, because, as I said, they are important part of the ecosystem, as all the animals, all the species, all the plants are, which is right now around us, because this creating this balanced environment what we had until the we humans didn't touch it. But that's why here today, that's why I brought for you these topics, that to show you that like even if we touched, we still can manage it to make it right, because we know what are the problems. So just we need to stand up and do some dirty work, and after we can sit back to our couch and enjoy our TV series with no guilt, because we know that actually everything what we're doing, it's not polluting, but maybe it's helping, maybe it's actually creating something good things. So, and also this is like part of the human wildlife conflict, that the poaching for their body parts, because tigers has nice stripes and people attracted to them. I don't know why. Unfortunately, we are not tigers, we can have stripes, so therefore I don't feel that like it's fair that like need to kill that animal to have that type of stripes. Maybe you can draw with the pencil some stripes on yourself if you really want to, but I don't think that these are any species to be killed just to be wear for the fashion. So yeah, and because they think as well that like some of the body parts of the tiger is highly valued in traditional medicines, which is a kind of false knowledge, because even if we eat that animal, we not gonna be become that animal, we gonna not gonna get that strength maximum we can get right now. Let's say when we, I mean, not me to be honest, when many of you eating farm animal product, they actually can put into your the stress, because they are really stressed, because it's an intensive animal farming. They can see daily that they're being killed there, their species, and therefore into their muscles they're releasing stress hormones which actually ingest, and therefore probably people around more stressed. And yeah, and basically there are some key points about positive uh, implication to protect the tigers. So basically they want to expand the protected area, which is like actually providing them a nice space, and they won't be conflicted with humans, and also they can have clean water and prey. And these protected areas are crucial for the survivor and growth to the tiger population. And basically because this going really well in Thailand National Park, the Indo-Chinese tiger were confirmed for the first time, which is a pretty good news as well. And we just still need to keep continue, and very well done those people who doing this effort. I really want to join them and help them as well, like anywhere where they are going, because they doing for the good, they doing for to help our planet to still being in balance. And that's a good thing, because that's what we should do. We need to live consciously, because our daily life right now, the society is pressing on us so much unsustainable stuff to wear and use daily, that basically they're doing the wrong things. And these people who actually taking care of the environment and try to bring new sustainable ideas, those the good things, and that what we should follow. We should follow scientists rather than politicians, because scientists, I think, pretty understand that, like, what how we live as human beings, as a natural beings, because politicians try to keep us, I think, more to be like in an illusion artificial uh, environment to to be good for them and nice profit. But after this, right now, there's gonna be some advertisement, and I'm gonna come back after the advertisement, and I'm gonna continue with the another invention, which is, I think, as well pretty cool. So keep with me with the second part as well with me. Until then, just take care, enjoy your morning, and as I said and always say, don't stress yourself, just smile, be positive. And it's 11 o'clock gonna be in 4, 3, 2, 1 second. Take care. Okay, and I am back. So after this small advert, let's bring up another invention, which is actually like pretty cool. Like you're gonna hear that why I'm saying that. When I found this invention, definitely I thought that I'm gonna bring it for you, and I'm gonna tell about it a little bit, just to know that like it's real, it's happening. And if you do some little research, then maybe you can create your own as well. Because so what I wanna bring it out. So what would you say, guys, that like if could have you could create electricity just only with salt and water? So actually, it's, as I said, it's happening. It's definitely real. And one company found out that like how to power the lamps, the lights, and even how to charge your phone just using salt and water. It's actually pretty amazing, because as we know, there is a lot of oceans and seas around us. They are all salted water, and if you use that, then basically, or even just you take some salt and mix it together with water, if you use that, you actually can create electricity. And it was created in the Philippines island, because there is the electricity is scarce, and yeah, it's pretty good. Just image that like we don't need to have any more batteries to have some electricity. We just need some salt and water, and then we can charge our phone. We can have some light to read. So very well done from this company. And let me tell you that like how let me tell you a little bit that how it works exactly. So basically, this lamp is operated through ionization, where salt water electrolytes react with magnesium and copper plates inside the device to produce electricity. So this process is a form of electrochemical cell, similar how a real battery works, and which is like electrical energy, generate electrical energy from chemical reaction. This also basically a really good invention in that way that you don't need for charging or batteries at all to make it work. You actually, unlike the traditional lamps that require electricity or battery to power, this lamp is just only enough to fill up with 500 milliliters, so half liter salt water. And actually this half liter salt water, also I read about that like even you can use your urine by an emergency situation. So I mean, when I read that, straight away come into my mind Nikola Tesla, because he was like really into the electricity and how we can create electricity for free or from the nature, and he did pretty well. As we check around right now, all the technology what is around us is actually 80% is because of him, because of his invention, because of his thoughts and mind. And I think if he would read this news today, probably he would have been amazed as well. I think because in here as well as you realize you don't affect at all the environment. You don't need to burn your fossil fuels to have some electricity or energy. You don't need to have batteries, which actually as well dangerous to the environment. You actually need just simple salt water or even your own urine. And basically it's actually makes it a really reliable stuff, especially areas which is limited access to electricity. So as I've been in South Africa, that unfortunately the lights shut off like suddenly, and it goes away for over hours. So definitely they could use that as well, this invention, and it would be better, to be honest, than the old powered electricity, because I don't want that, to be honest, guys, that like the African area or any of these South American or Australia or any of these big environment where it's like the high the biodiversity, and it's really important to be in that way as it in a natural way, because that helps the ecosystem to work well. So yeah, I don't really want that to take those areas which is unfortunately in these days is still poorer countries, which I don't understand why, but whatever. So basically I definitely next to and support those type of ideas which for these countries to use straight away sustainable energies rather than the old European or American energies, because those are not sustainable. And also it's long lasting. So basically this lamp can emit light for up to 45 days. So again, 500 milliliters, so half liter salt water, it's enough for 45 days to have electricity, which is like pretty good, is over 1 month. And also this lamp has a USB port, so you can charge small devices such as mobile phones. So what else would we need? Come on, it's just like it's so simple, and I still don't understand that, like, why there is no in Europe yet. Where is it? I want to get that this lamp, like, because I'm not using too much electricity at home, but in the night if I'm working, for example, on my radio show, that what I want to talk about or what topics I'm bringing for you, then I'm working in the evening on that, and it will be pretty handy that I would have like this type of lamp, because then I know that like 100% I'm sustainable and I'm not doing nothing wrong with the environment. And why I'm saying sustainable is not about just that like we are not burning fossil fuels to create electricity, but also this lamp is actually made of Urapan wood, and the base contains a circuit for the ionization process, and the cup allows water to flow in a hydrogen gas to escape, and when the salt particles evaporate, then basically the lamp can be emptied, refilled and reused. And even just watch this and check this out, guys, that basically as this water is like not working anymore to create electricity, you still not gonna wasting it, because still you can reuse it in a good way. For example, you can wash with that, not with your urine probably, but with the salt water, and also you can use for cleaning. So if you clean, let's say, your toilet or your kitchen, then basically you can use this used salt water to clean your environment. So actually this as well another thing, that like you're not gonna use that much water, you don't need that much water for the cleaning either. So very well done for this company. It's a really good idea, wonderful mind. Definitely, I'm super sure that between of you who listening me as well got a wonderful mind. Everybody got a wonderful mind. Just need to find your way that like how to blossom your ideas and your inventions, because in every one of us has a beautiful way to think and see the world. And yeah, just keep going, guys. If you have any ideas, just think about that, write it down, make your prototype, or if you can do more, then definitely build it up and try to sell it. And also call me, because I'm gonna be the first person who want to get that product, because if, to be honest, because I'm living in London, I'm actually renting my room, but if I would have here in London my own house, then I live here 8 years already, so I think by 8 years probably I would turn my house definitely like in a way that like my carbon footprint would have been really close to zero, because there is a lot of inventions in the market which is already workable and selling it, just no one advertising it, because right now this society is hiding it, these inventions, but hopefully not so long. And that's why I'm here, just to tell you that like definitely there are some products already on the market which just some little research you can have in your home, and you can reduce the cost of your bills, for example, and also you can help your environment, which is very good, as that could have been one step forward. And then when you realize that like, oh my god, it was pretty easy, then you can make the second step and the third, and once you're just gonna realize that everything around you is green, is healthy, it's fresh and good. And one more thing about that it definitely, this lamp has a potential for mass production, because they already supplied to over 840 million people worldwide who currently lack of access to electricity. And yeah, after this lovely invention, let's bring for you another two musics, because this Monday morning is vibing morning and I'm pretty vibing, so also I want to listen a bit more music with you guys and vibe with you guys. Let's see, what should I? Okay, so let's be the first music is from Nevada, Mark Morrison, Fatty Web, the Mac, and the second from James Hype and Kelly Lade, More Than Friends. So until then, enjoy the musics. Also enjoy your Monday morning, your coffee, your tea, or even if you're in your workplace, just enjoy your day, be positive, and keep it up. Who is still in the bed, then just go for it. Very good, lucky you. and yeah, I'm coming back in a bit. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully you vibed on these musics. I definitely did. And now, before I gonna go back to our lovely positive news and inventions, I just gonna tell you that, like, if you want to interact with me from outside the radio, then basically you can find me on TikTok, which you need to write at Mindatory_official, or also you can find me on Instagram, where you can need to write that like at J and 2 times Shandor, Sandor. Also you can find me on TikTok. I got a personal account that basically you need to write at just Shandor. And if you didn't listen through all my 2 hours radio show, don't worry about that, because actually I'm putting this on YouTube, so you can listen back anytime, anywhere. And to find me on YouTube, you just need to write "Let's Be a Better Species," and that's why I give this channel name, because I feel we are in that century when we are ready to level up, ready to develop, ready to evolve our species to the next level. And also, let's not forget, guys, to follow the radio station. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, and you just need to write at Love the Beat Radio. But be careful, guys, because instead the THE, you need to write DA. So yeah, okay. So after we talk about this powered lamp with salt water, or even if with your urine, let's go back with some news, good news into the zoology, ecology field. And basically it's, I don't know, first of all, I don't know if you know that, but the Eurasian beavers was pretty common in the UK all around, but they been hunted and therefore they extinct centuries ago, which is a pretty sad thing, because I don't know why we humans as a species want to hunt down everything what is around us, why we want them to make them extinct. I think they definitely have space next to me and next to us. They could live and cooperate with us in a peace manner. But as today it's everything about good news. This is actually, there is a good news as well, because even if being hunted and extinct centuries ago in the UK, the Eurasian beavers have made a comeback in the UK. and also including the capital where I'm living as well, London. And that was a really big reintroduction efforts. They've been reintroduced to various locations across the UK, and basically that's why they wanted to restore the beavers into the UK, because they I mean, like, restore, reintroduce, because what I wanted to say that, like, basically these beavers is restoring the biodiversity and mitigating the flooding impact. So they actually, we can talk as tigers as well. They are actually a pretty keystone species, and they are really important to be in the ecosystem, in the biodiversity, because they helping to keep in balance the environment. They have a pretty good managed channels, and which actually help to flooding in a good way the water, and also impacting the flooding, so it's less likely gonna be floods on like anywhere on the world, especially right now these days. Like, I don't know guys if you hear that, but in Scotland there was like a big storm and floodings everywhere, and hope you guys who listen me in Scotland, you are fine and you're doing great. And we just, what I would say, we need more beavers, because probably they could help, like just a little bit as well, but still they could help, because actually as everything is more complex like than that. But that would have been this is a good first step, that like the UK reintroduced the beavers, because they are pretty impactful on the environment. And so these efforts are part of the large project called the 1,000-Year Project, which aims to review nature's intrinsic value in the UK's tightly managed landscape. So basically they released the beavers in Enfield, Hampshire and Ealing, and this is actually a truly historic event, because 400 years ago you could see beavers in the UK. So over 400 years the UK land was without beavers, and now luckily and thankfully they introduced back to the UK. So hopefully it's gonna make a nice and good impact on the environment and the biodiversity, because beavers were once common across the UK, but as I say, they've been hunted because of their fur, their meat, or even the scent glands, because we people want to use everything from the animals, unfortunately, even if it's like it just gives us a false belief and not works on things what actually people thinks it should work. But hopefully this changing, and these beavers gonna thrive in the UK, because actually these beavers can give a positive impact on the ecosystem, because they improve the health of local ecosystem by altering habitats, trapping sediments and creating more diversity in the wetland wildlife. Of course there are some controversy in the UK, because they are introduced of the beaver, and of course who else but the British government, because they have concerns about the potential destructive impact of beavers. But the other part of Europe and North America, where beavers have made a successful comeback, and they made a positive impact on the environment, which has been well established. So sorry British government, but you need to let the beavers live in the UK as well, because this is actually the good sake for us and for the environment. So I'm pretty with the beavers, and I'm happy that they've been reintroduced in the UK, and definitely, even if like not in the cities, but all around the wetlands and all around where they are, definitely they're gonna impact in a good way the environment. So that's actually a pretty good news. Okay, so after that, again, I was thinking that I'm gonna bring two more musics. Why not? Just to vibe a bit more, and definitely made you wake up to the afternoon shift, let's say, and also hopefully this vibe gonna take through this week, because I just like want to create for you a positive vibe which you can take it with you. And also, as I said, just smile, because with your smile actually you switch on your hormones, your happy hormones, and actually you can make yourself happy even if you are sad, but hopefully no one that is sad. So the first music what I gonna bring for you is Jack Jones and Callum Scott, The Whistle, and the second is gonna be from Ludi and Matrafix, The Big City Life. So I'm gonna come back in a bit. And I'm back, I'm here, hello, hello. Hopefully you missed my voice, but don't worry, I'm here. Probably you like the music as well, because today is like so much vibing on this music, so definitely I feel buzzing. So hopefully you guys feeling the same. I try to give that energy, my energy, to you. So yeah, unfortunately, so we're going to the end of my show. Only 20 minutes left, but I think I can finish uh, all the topic and all the news, all the inventions, what I want to talk about it. So that's pretty good, and I'm happy with that, because definitely after this show you're gonna be, let's say, a bit, you're gonna have more knowledge about that, like is around us is not everything bad. It's actually, there's a lot of things what is going behind our back, which is actually positive, good, sustainable, and just keep going. And definitely in the future show I'm gonna bring more these about these inventions and good news, just to balance out this lot of tension and lot of negative news from the TV, newspaper, magazines, or social media. So let's go back. This is the last, actually, the from the inventions, and I think like one of the most important, which definitely need to find really quickly a new way and new solutions to not to release these anymore. And actually, I'm talking about the carbon dioxide or the methane, but carbon dioxide is actually they're talking about the most of the time, but also methane, to be honest, is worse than carbon dioxide. But what is actually being released is more likely is carbon dioxide from our cars or anything else what we're using right now from the fossil fuels. But definitely we need to take care that like the methane as well, it's pretty dangerous greenhouse gas. And also, if you don't know that, actually the water vapor as well is a greenhouse gas which actually trap the heat in the atmosphere. So basically, this company has developed a groundbreaking cement and concrete technology that actually has a potential to be a game changer for the construction industry and help also reduce its carbon footprint. And I really hope that like soon we're not just gonna talk about like its potential to be a game changer, but actually we're gonna talk about that like being invented and game changer industry, because basically these cement blocks are considered a significant innovation, because when this cement being manufactured, the technology it can be produced in a traditional cement kilns using less energy, and is actually reducing in a 30-40% reduction in greenhouse gas emission during the manufacturing process, which actually would be a pretty amazing thing that just creating these cements concretes is actually be using 30-40% less greenhouse gas to produce them. And this should be a significant improvement compared to the conventional cement production, because actually right now these cements, this concrete which being uh, product I mean like created, they actually responsible for approximately 8% of the global carbon dioxide emission, which is pretty high. As we know, people need to live somewhere and people are building, and they most of the times they're using concrete, but every time when concrete being produced, then actually that adding to the global carbon dioxide emission, which is 8%. It's pretty high. And if we would use this way to manufacture the cements, what this company doing, then actually, again, I'm gonna tell you, it would reduce this emission to 30-40%. Also, these concrete blocks is like have a really fast curing time because they are ready for use in 24 hours, and is a pretty good advantage because the ordinary concretes which we're using right now these days is actually required a couple of weeks to be to harden. And so basically, because it's hardening faster, this can lead to increased productivity, which means we can build more houses to people, which means can be faster to produce stuff and being done, and also shorter construction timelines. Also, this concrete is stronger than the ordinary one, what we're using right now, also durable and chemical resistant compared to the traditional one, which is like right now as well, I say like 4 or 5 good advantage that why should as soon as possible change and manufacturing from the traditional concrete to these concrete, which is actually have a lot of good positive things to help the environment and also reduce the human emissions. And we should push. So we're listening me, every one of us, we're living it. We should push that like they manufacture this type of concrete rather than the old ones. And definitely right now, because I'm talking about now, you have knowledge about it. So if you are wanna uh, renovate or right now building your house, definitely I advise to research about this concrete and try to order those and use those ones, because you don't need to check the short term. Never with the problem as well with humans that like they always want to short term like quick happiness. Quickly they want to achieve the things, they quickly want to go get there where they want, and they never check the long term. But actually, if people, humans, could wait a little bit and think about and image better the long term impacts on what we are doing, then actually would have been 10 times better, 10 times healthier, and 10 times uh, uh, would make us happier that like we achieve that, because this concrete as well maybe can be expensive, of course, because it's a new invention. But if you think true that like if you buy this and you're using it, actually you're reducing the carbon emission, you actually living in a stronger house which actually can stand longer than these concretes what we have, so less likely you need to renovate. and less like you're gonna have problems or cracks on your houses. But it's not just like that. There are more good things about this concrete, because basically they save time, money, and also water. And basically these cements, the key component of solid A concrete, has a lower energy use and lower emission chemistry than the ordinary Portland cement. And this innovation cement cure with carbon dioxide instead of water, which means that like more sustainable and environment friendly alternative, because rather than to make this concrete you're not using water, you're actually using carbon dioxide. So one of the most significant advantage of this concrete that actually it has the ability to absorb carbon dioxide during the curing process, rather than the traditional when actually producing and emit carbon dioxide. And basically therefore, because they absorb carbon dioxide, they're making it a carbon negative building material, which is really good, because not just like you don't need to use carbon dioxide or releasing, but actually taking away carbon dioxide from our environment, which is a pretty good thing. And for example, 30 concrete blocks can absorb 22 kilograms of carbon dioxide during the production, which is actually is equivalent to the carbon dioxide absorption of a tree in 1 year. So 30 blocks, if you buy 30 blocks, actually you're helping the environment like the trees would help in 1 year. So that's very well done. I encourage you guys to do some research. And as I said, if you are planning to build, then try to use this type of concrete, because as people get aware, that's gonna be definitely cheaper, and also people are gonna use more, and it's gonna become worldwide. So the unique curing process of this cement allows for the permanent sequestration of carbon dioxide cure concrete structure. This means that the carbon dioxide captured during the production of the concrete remains trapped within the material, and further reducing its environment impact. And basically this concrete production reduced the carbon dioxide footprint by 70% when compared to the traditional cement or concrete products. So it would be a really big step for us. It would be amazing things if we would be built with these concretes, and definitely we could see the positive impacts on that if we would use it worldwide. Just this, we need to rush it, and it's in our hand. It's in the humanity hand. It's up to us that how we rushing it. So I wouldn't suggest just to let's go out and do strikes, because to be honest, it sometimes works, but it's not that impactful. I'm more likely that I would suggest like what you hear from me, or seeing, if you know me, that like I always do my research. Do your research, check around what is actually on the market, what actually you can do at your home, and when you found out, basically just make it to an action. And as you made this to an action, then basically you're making it. You don't need to strike about it, because this is actually like, let's say, a strike, because you are not buying those type of products where you're actually no good for the environment. You're actually using those products which is good for the environment, which is help your health, help the environment, help health. So these, I think, is bigger step than any strike. So actions, 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 and research. So as when you know your truth, when you know the reality, when you know where to find these things, and you make it with action and you're using it, that's the biggest step for the humanity to change the world to more sustainable and positive and healthy. So I encourage you guys that definitely make your research and try to use these inventions, because these are all around the market. Just you need to open your eyes, and definitely you need to like get a bit further in your pocket, by worth it. Long term is worth it, because uh, we we have had ancestors and we're gonna have future generations. So if we check, we are not building just for ourselves, even if we thinking yes, we don't, let's not be that selfish, please. Because we are building also for the future generation, as our ancestor built for us to live in our planet. Unfortunately, those time wasn't those type of knowledge what we have right now. We need to learn from those mistakes and not to make it happen again. Rather, we need to learn from that and move forward, and finding new solutions, because that's the right step. Because our ancestors, with their mistakes, showed the the solutions for us, and basically with that we can give a better teaching to our future generation. We're gonna have a better knowledge, so they can find a better way, even better way what we're finding right now. Maybe our future generation, if we can live in a sustainable way and a healthy way, and let the planet to live and not just destroy it, then maybe our future generation, who knows, they would already travel to different galaxies. So you never know. So as I say, don't be selfish, don't think about just yourself and about your life, because that's just only one life and just a one period, and your future generation is gonna be your next period, and that future generation gonna be the next period, and this could go to an infinite number. It's everything on us, that like how we creating our present to the future. So yeah, and that's why I brought these inventions and good news for you guys, just to know that like there are things on the market, just we need to do the steps. Because to be honest, companies are lazy. They invent, they advertise, but that's it. They won't push you. Sometimes, yeah, most of the times that's not sustainable anyway. But it's on you, because you have the money in your pocket, so you have the decision as well that who you support with your money. So just be mindful and definitely do your research. And so I got 5 minutes left, and in that 5 minutes, quickly I'm gonna tell you the last good news about the zoology, conservation, ecology. And this is as well about UK, because I live in the UK. So I was told that like, let's say, to talk about two good things what happened in the UK. And after the beavers being introduction, there is another animal being introduced into the UK land. And actually it is the first time, because they never been um, well, they never been live in this area, this type of animal, just the its cousin. Basically this animal is the bison, the European bison. And basically it introduced in the UK in July 2022. And this reintroduction was on woodland in Kent, as part of the rewilding project by the Kent Wildlife Trust and Wildwood Trust. The project aims to return the forest to a more natural state and boost biodiversity, as well as tackle the climate crisis. Uh, Basically, the bisons in Kent give us a glimpse of what the UK's woodland would once have looked like when people first started inhabiting the island thousands of years ago. So, as I said, this European bison is not native to Britain, but its close relative, the globally extinct foreign bison, unfortunately, this extinct during the Pleistocene, but they are pretty close relatives. The European bisons, they kind of live and work in the same way, and so therefore it's a good thing that they introduced in the UK around Cannes, because it's actually have the biodiversity to flourish and being in a good maintenance, because these missions naturally engineering the woodland, such as bark striping, trampling, wallowing, and also seed dispersal, can resurface ecosystem, refurbishing existing habitats, and lay foundations for new ones. And the biggest news from this, that like apart that they introduced them, that actually there an unexpected birth of a calf by a female European bison in Kent has sent a milestone for reviving in the UK. The new arrivals adds to the small herd, which is being monitored to see what impact it has on the surrounding woodland. The bison's presence in the UK is expected to help with woodland management and increase the biodiversity. So if you go around, guys, around Kent, then definitely were to walk around the woodland and being quiet. Maybe you're gonna see some visions, but now I need to say bye from you guys. See you next Monday. This was the Mindatory show with Shandor. Have a nice Monday, rest of your Monday, and a nice head of your week. Take care. Bye, guys.